Yo, 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 it's Misha Dex and
Your boy Keymon.
at some point I just would think he'll do some kind of breakdance move in the beginning.
I ain't got that in me though.
Listen,
I
our
don't have
energy is
that.
low, but it's okay. We're gonna
Yeah,
make it through. I had a long day. Well, night that led into the day.
same, same. But it was fun though.
Listen, it is always worth it to be around people that we love and connect with. This year is all about connection for me. I don't know what your game plan is, but
Mm.
it's really about connection for me in 2026. And also not just connection because it's obligation, like literally showing up because it's where you want to be. I'm at that age where I don't want to be around what I don't want to be around, and I don't want to be anywhere I don't want to be. So
Yeah.
connection is my game this year.
Uh, that's a smooth one. I feel like that's an escape for you though,
Escape in what way?
because I feel like connection, like you've never had a problem with. I feel like your whole life has been about connection.
No, the difference is I don't want to be where I don't want to be. I believe that in prior years, especially 20s, I felt obligated to be places,
Mm.
right? Because of that whole, well, if you don't show up for my birthday, I'm not showing up for yours.
Yeah,
And not
typical.
saying that that was my agenda,
Uh,
um, because I know a lot of people.
mhm.
I always had birthdays, weddings, baby showers, and I got burnt out. And then when I started slowly taking a step back, people took it more personal when in
Mm.
reality,
There's
um,
only one of you
it man,
in 1,000 events.
right? Even now, and
Yeah.
I'm saying this with the respect of being a single origin, right? And having friends that are married with kids. Like just imagine if it's you, your partner, and in your case, you have 3 children, right? That's 5 different birthdays.
Hmm.
And then I go to all 5. And you
Exactly.
only have to come to one of mine.
Yeah.
But then I got
You want a
another group of
birthday?
friends.
You want another birthday? You want you want to add
I'm not complaining
you want to
about it.
add
I'm just
a
saying
holiday for you?
how people have this, they
Yeah.
put this thing on you, and it's like, dang, like, do I only show up for your birthday or do I come and show out when you need me or when
Got it.
life happens, right? And so I found myself, again, like you said, you feel burnt out, you feel fatigue, and then you start being resentful to yourself and how you show up. But that's not what it's about for me. So it's not
Mm.
the connection, it's the how to.
Yeah.
How are you connecting? How are you disconnecting? How are you refilling your own cup? And I know last year I was like, oh, it's about me, and I did it, but I didn't fulfill that all the way.
Mm.
But the reason why things happen,
Yeah.
life was happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's expected,
Yeah.
right? Like But I think for me, it has to be steps. This is the year of steps for me, and forward steps, because there's no way you can compare backwards and forward, right? Like
Mm.
there's no way that if we're looking at it as an arrow, there's no way that will ever align.
No, because
Right.
first of all, it's the viewpoint is
Yeah,
different,
exactly. Exactly.
and you have to be more cautious stepping backwards while looking forward than you would looking forward and keep walking
Yeah,
forward. So
exactly.
I
So
get that.
so with that, it's just I have so many things that I want to um accomplish for myself, for the family, and I have so many ideas that I sit on, and just haven't taken the steps to make it come true. And one step that I have already made was committing to running San Diego's half marathon.
Ooh.
So that's a step for me, because one, I I hadn't ran since for like 4 months, and I kept telling myself, get back into it, make it to the gym, but won't run. So
Mm-hmm.
this was, let me sign up, step forward. This will hold me accountable.
And you said this is a half marathon?
Half marathon.
You know, I've done one. The
You should,
colors. Yep.
yeah, you should sign up.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna sign up. Yeah, I'm showing up.
That's the big
so
difference.
so when you say run, you're not talking about your mouth. You're talking about the actual ligaments moving your legs.
And that's I think most people get the misconception, like you have to run it fully, right?
Right. You can
Like
walk.
I think when I ran the LA marathon, I probably walked 8 miles. I walked like legit walked 8 miles. Like no shame. Like I finished in 4 hours and I'm good.
Listen, it's the lady on Peloton that always say you getting on today is a step further than somebody still on the couch.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
whether you run it, walk it, I commend you. I feel like I do want to explore something as far as physical strength. Um, but I don't know. I'm scared to say it out loud because then the accountability has to be there. But I definitely want to do some strength training.
But I would encourage that.
Mm-hmm.
One, because you have a birthday coming up, so we are getting older, right?
Is that how you spell that? I'm gonna show the clip of the young man who asked me if I was 25 at the end of this episode.
but I didn't say you look, but I'm just saying in terms of
Like, no, you
just
feel it.
just making sure the engine's running
No,
correctly.
for sure. I won't even take offense to that or anything because I know some things you can't say to certain people. But I feel like if we can give each other,
Get your ass up and go physically get your ass up.
wait a minute, now
Oh,
it's changing. Now
sorry.
your chin is looking rather targetish. I'm
Sorry.
gonna train my fist. No,
Sorry.
I take that. Like I don't. It's not. First of all, let's be honest. I mean, or let me be honest. I'm not just sitting and not doing any movement. Like I feel like even like last night,
Yeah.
I went
Not your
out.
Zumba.
No, but I got up and was still up and moving. You
Yeah.
know, I don't make an excuse not to move
Did
because I
you
am afraid.
did you do your Sierra dance at the
You can't. Can you get it together? And they did put on music, make me lose control.
Did you act out?
Oh, I definitely
Uh,
listen. It's to the point where when I got tagged on some of the people's stories, I wouldn't repost it because I said, "No, I ain't gonna give y'all that much access."
uh,
No, I mean, the thing is, I'm not gonna miss an opportunity to dance,
mm,
but I feel it. I
mm,
feel it now. I feel the difference
yeah.
where before I could just get up the next day, but no.
Yeah, no, I feel you. But no, but going back to the health thing and steps forward, even with me, when I turned 43 in December and going to get my blood work done,
Mm-hmm.
getting the results of that, like, oh, you have an elevated liver. Like, where does that come from? I'm just like, oh, I don't know where
So
that.
since we tell the truth, you gonna put that bottle down?
No, I didn't say from that.
Oh, okay.
No, so I actually researched it though,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be from alcohol, but I don't think I drink like that. But fatty acids and also intense workouts. So
Okay.
so that's another thing. So I have to do a run test and see kind of where it's coming from, pretty
Right.
much. But if alcohol is the the
The
root
cause.
of it,
Mm-hmm.
then definitely just just go to smoking. But
I'm
but
gonna edit that out. No, I'm just playing.
but
No,
yeah,
this is
so
not a space of shame. I think
not at all.
there's definitely what I do love about this space, and I feel like we could go deeper, but I think there is this tug of war of like, how much do I want to share? How much do I want to put out there? If I don't know if it's going to help somebody,
Yeah.
right? But I've shared some very deep personal things on why be negative. But I also feel like I'm at a space too where I'm learning to pivot and pocket some of those things until personal one-on-ones are happening,
Mm,
because people are building from that.
mm,
Like I can be on here talking every week, and then it's my encounters with people in person that are really shaping certain relationships and decision making that others are making right now. So, um, but I speaking of that, um, I just want to shout out again everybody that has like I've gotten several phone calls, text messages about when we were coming back. Like, hey, we haven't seen an episode. And I think it was important also for me to take a longer break because it was so many things
mm-hmm.
happening during the holiday season. And I want to be able to give back and not just record because of this is time to
Yeah,
record. I want to record knowing I feel calm
yeah,
and not feeling like this is a rush job.
yeah. No, for sure. How do you feel coming into episode
One, right? Are we?
or
Ooh,
season 4?
yeah. So if this is season 4, this is episode 46.
So how do you feel?
I'm proud. Like again, I think the consistency. Just imagine if each episode was a workout.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, I think it's one of those things where I find myself in awe of how far we've gone from a conversation to developing an idea to executing that.
hmm
I don't know what you would say has changed for you, but like my content creating has like
Level up,
skyrocketed
yeah.
because I was just like I wanted to look a certain way,
Mm.
and it's not that I don't want to pay somebody, but I would rather do it than have to explain.
Yeah,
Can you make it sound like this? Can you make it look like
yeah,
this?
yeah.
And so because of that, I feel like it's time to take this skill that I learned from doing the podcast
hmm
and try a different lane as
Yeah.
well with it. But I feel really, like I said, I feel proud of us for continuing to show up, make time. As tired as either one of us
Yeah.
are, I think that part is what is really an eye-opening experience because I can't blame you for not recording,
hmm
and or vice versa because
Yeah.
we show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how are you feeling?
I think, truthfully, it's gonna be a lot. And that's just because so much with going on. So, but I know the commitment is there still,
Okay.
and we said we were doing 100 episodes, so we're gonna get to 100 episodes. Like,
Yeah, we're almost at a
we
halfway mark.
yeah, halfway there. But no, but outside of that though, I definitely feel um light and excited to share these steps,
Mm.
right? Because I'm going to use this as a, hey, I'm following through with what I'm setting out to accomplish this
And
year.
how dope is it that you're setting up accountability for you, but you're also, whether you realize it or not, are having a pocket for other people to be
Yeah,
accountable, not just to listen to it, but
yeah,
like, oh, connect,
yeah.
right? Like, oh, Keymon said he's gonna run a marathon. Maybe I should do that,
hmm
right? And then it's all these different pockets that can come, can come from this. And so one of the things that I'm looking forward to, and I keep saying it, is like to see when we get out of our comfort zone with the podcast. Like we know everybody has podcasts. You don't have to listen to everybody's
hmm
podcast. I don't force friendships to look at it like if you're my friend, you will look. Nope. Um,
If you like me.
right. You don't like me. Hey, I thought you was gonna play with my frog. No, but I want to. I want to do a different type of reach.
Mm.
I want to do a different type of reach, and yeah, I want to see what that would look like, and then helping other people find their niche or
Yeah.
find their goals for the year or the healing process. I mean, that's what Why Be Negative really is based on is what does your healing look like and how are you responding to negativity in comparisons to how you did when you were younger?
hmm
Are you still out there fighting people?
Who
Or are
look
you
at
able
you?
to look
Yeah,
at people
yeah,
like, oh, you tripping, you're not finna interrupt
yeah,
my happiness?
yeah, yeah. No, I think that's a good way to put it in terms of the, I think the process, right?
Yeah.
Or the journey, more so than the process, because it's also like who you become in the midst of this journey, right? And we talked about it before, like this is never going to be the situation where everything is perfect and we don't go
No.
through our trials and our moments when we feel defeated, moments where we were unaligned
Mm.
with our vision, our mission, and our personal goals.
Yeah.
But it's also a way to reflect and say, I don't want to experience that again, so I'm gonna try it a different way.
And I was sitting here thinking about what angle I would come at about this episode, and I would call this the Braveheart because
Mm,
I feel like one, it takes heart and bravery to talk about traumas in a way that we've shared,
mm-hmm,
right? Even discoveries we
mm-hmm,
discovered in this space together. Because one of the main things that I get told about our podcast is I could never.
Mm.
And the whole time I'm like, so what does that say about me?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think I realized it was being brave at heart or being a brave heart more than I don't want to keep holding this.
Mm.
So the more I can get off, but not trauma bond with anybody, but also normalize that unfortunate things have happened, unfortunate experiences have happened across the board, regardless if it was man, woman, whether your ethnicity or your religious stance. The reality is we all have taken hits.
Mm-hmm.
And to be brave enough to call out a hit and say, you know, whether you handled it properly the first time or didn't have the tools to, what are you doing now?
Yeah.
How are you, like you said, I have a birthday coming up. How am I stepping into my 44th birthday after the hits I experienced from 43 and prior, right? Oh, I'm stepping out with the big dog. But it's just being brave, and I've realized there's a lot of people who will not
Mm.
give themselves grace to say,
Permission.
yeah, permissions, grace, even being able to identify whether or not they feel brave enough. And if this space is going to give people what they need in order to have a conversation with self, because anything you do starts here first,
Mm.
right? Like, you probably thought about this marathon to yourself multiple
Oh yeah,
times,
for sure.
and then you had a conversation outside of you,
Mm.
and then that conversation turned into the
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
So I would love to see how many people are willing to be the Bravehearts of YB Negative.
And make sure you guys share with us, tag us. I
Yeah,
mean, if it's not too personal,
yeah.
slide in the DMs, because at the end of the day, man, it's really about the community at this point. I mean, we see everything that's going on, and it's hard not to feed into it
Mhm.
and resonate and do these things. But it's also important that you have the solid folks around you, um, and when it comes to achieving goals, like celebrate.
Like having a safe space,
Yeah.
like people can't tell you. I can't say this enough, and I said it every season. Somebody don't have somebody to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah.
someone who don't have not one
Yeah.
person, and if they do have someone to talk to, do they 100% trust them? Do they
Mm-hmm.
have the best intentions while listening? Are you listening to me? Like, I know you sitting here and I'm talking, but are you picking up what I'm putting
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
So recently I watched the documentary that I put you on called The Waves of War, and the thing that shocked me about that documentary was they said 24 veterans kill themselves a day,
Mm.
and that you lose more veterans
To suicide.
to suicide than across enemy lines. And that hit because the part that was really traumatic for me watching that was a lot of them. One particular person on the documentary said that if there weren't child abusers, there wouldn't be any soldiers at war, which made me realize that they didn't pocket their trauma and fix it. They pocketed it until they could use it against somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like they didn't become these militants because they wanted to fight for the country. They was actually fighting their own shit
Mm-hmm.
out loud, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was one thing. And then there's another documentary, and like y'all know, I love documentaries. The MMA fighter Israel made a quote that stuck to me, and he said, "I rather I rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener at war."
Mm-hmm.
And it meant to me like I'd rather come suited and booted, knowing anything can happen. I'm ready, even in this calm space, versus being a gardener and it's a war around me and I have tools but not the right ones.
Yeah.
And it made me think of all the times that as a child not being able to talk about some of the traumas that happened, that I came ready for war and there was peace around me and I still didn't know how to be in that space.
Yeah.
So with those different reactions of knowing that people are really operating out of hurt and not heart,
Mm.
my mission is to operate out of heart.
Operate out of heart. Yeah,
Because
that's
when
deep.
you operate out of hurt, you don't know, you can literally misinterpret a gesture because you never understood how to
Mm.
receive it. Like every time we pass people, especially people of color, and they're older, I say hello, good afternoon. Some of them be like, "Hey, sweetheart," or I went out last night, see this black lady in line. I said, "Hey, cousin." She said, "Hey, girl." Didn't even know her, right? But then you have some that'll be like,
What? Why are you
"Why are you
talking to
speaking to
me?
me?"
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So when I see those type of moments, I'm like, "Ooh, you operating out of hurt."
Mm.
But it don't impact me because I'm gonna go and keep doing that.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
just gonna have to figure
yeah,
out yours.
yeah. No, I think that's big. I feel I have definitely operated out of hurt before, and I think that's what kind of forced the disconnect with the stepdad when they first started dating and things, because um, just things didn't work, wasn't sitting right with me within. Um, and I think that was one of the biggest things. But once I acknowledged that, once I understood and kind of seek the truth behind my reaction, my emotions, my feelings behind that, it was easier to navigate in a different direction that I wanted. Um, it really like identify what I really wanted for the girls.
Yeah.
Like the main thing is for them to be in a good, healthy, safe environment.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And so to fast forward to now, I don't think I'm not operating out of hurt. I think it's more operating out of a lack of understanding in certain things that triggers emotion, and or maybe lack of experience. Like there's so many things that can go
And you can
with
be
it.
operating out of a space of healing. Heal, like the ing after healing, after heal is not saying you're fully there. And so while you're going through that process, you're going to go through the pros and cons, the up and downs, the ebb and flow. Like even when I said, when you're seeking happiness, it doesn't mean you can't be happy while doing so, right? So that's the thing. Even as a gardener, you're not going to get the flowers to bloom, the fruit to grow immediately. You got to get down in there. You got to get dirty. You got to go through the mud. You got to go through the ups and downs. Does this fertilizer work? You go through the mud. Is what I'm saying. And the end result is worth it if you stick to it, right? The regiment of it all. And so operating through any space, you can, operating out of hurt, operating out of the heart, even operating out of heart can get you hurt.
Yeah.
And it's never ending. Like that journey is like, oh, now that I'm healed, life is gonna be great. Nope.
Not at all.
Nope.
Not at all.
But I also know that I'm not gonna stop fighting for the peace that I deserve. And that's also a process. Do you feel like you deserve peace? Do you deserve calmness?
And what's crazy though is that a lot of people would say no. And that is I just recently had a conversation with someone who questioned why these amazing things was happening to them. And one, I get it, but then I also had to check my response and make sure they didn't I guess come off as like not showing sympathy or not recognize, you know what I mean? Because at one point in life, I used to say that life only promises pain. Right?
But two things can be true at once.
And that was based off me losing my granny, just a lot of things. And I wouldn't sit here and say it was all necessarily bad, but
that was your experience.
It was experience, and it was a quote that I lived by. So to hear him say that, I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of been there before.
Right, and it gives you measure, because the thing is, it's also knowing where people stand with themselves, and that will impact the way that you guys are friends. Like one of our last episode for season 3, we had my sister Tranisha on, and she said, "I'm not that friend," right? And it's like, yeah, it's one thing for you to identify who you are,
Mm-hmm.
and it's another thing for the other person on the other end to receive it, right? Because it's like, well, if I don't expect that of you, then don't be hard on you about something I'm not expecting. But now if I come to you and I'm like, hey, I'm expecting you to be this type of friend, that type of friend, and that don't fit you, then we need to talk about what that looks like. But if we're operating and you only can give certain amount and I give this amount, is it working? Because if it's working,
then it's working.
But a lot of times when people are negative to themselves, you can be pouring into them, and because that negativity hole is at the bottom of their cup, it goes straight through them.
Straight through.
I done had so many conversations with people, and I'd be like, "Oh my god!" Whether it was complimenting their outfit, "Are you being funny?" And I'm like, "Huh?" This is not, and I'm like, "That's yours." I don't even want a part of what that is.
I'm telling you, I enjoy it.
Right. I said that's a nice fit. Like, so one thing about it, people will announce who they are. It's up to you to receive and understand, like, okay, that's the space you operate in.
No, for sure. That makes sense.
But also, again, back to the Braveheart theory, is being able to identify who you are and what you need to do so that you don't show up in other people's space and rock they shit. Like, don't come over here because your trauma has been unchecked for all this time and think you're gonna come over here and tell me how I'm not responding to you, when in reality, do you even care about you to fix it?
It's a strong statement. It's a strong, powerful statement. I think 2026 is gonna be crazy.
You want to talk a little more about it, or you think you just want to kind of leave it at that discretion of like, it's going to be crazy, stay tuned type stuff?
It's going to be crazy, stay tuned.
I want to know. I'm just
I mean, shit, they gonna hear about everything. In terms of just, again, steps. Again,
back to the steps.
It just goes back to that. Like, this is just, I had a conversation with myself, and it was like, you really need to put everything in motion, because who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But you would never know
until you try. Right, and put that, like you said, put those steps ahead.
Exactly.
I think also being having faith. Like, I feel like that's what I should have started with when I was talking about it's the faith factor for me. Why are you laughing?
Are these real?
My glasses?
No, because are these prescription?
Yeah.
Because you had Pradas on earlier.
Did you just put me over? See?
You know we always got to throw something there. I look good on you. You always have these glasses?
That's crazy. I'm due for a new prescription, yes.
Really? What brand you gonna get next?
Okay. See, this back to knowing who you're dealing with. See, when you don't know who you sitting next to.
No, it was nice. I don't know why I never paid attention. That's cool.
So you love me now?
No.
You're paying me more attention?
No, it was really prescription.
Yeah, I can't.
Can you not see far or close?
Okay, now you want my social security number? You want this man said, okay. Anyway,
going
back to faith. I was saying that I feel like I wish I would have really tapped on that first, because faith is what's brought me through. I feel like there's different hits I've experienced, and also something I'm going to talk about later on. It's a new journey I'm going to have to take, and trusting the process. I have different friends who have thought their life was going to look a certain way, and because it didn't, it is shooking. It has shook the ground for them. And for me, also experiencing some of those same things, the reason why it looks different is because I've learned that everything is not a yes, and knowing that yes and no doesn't mean punishment when you don't get the yes you wanted or the no you weren't looking for. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Faith. Faith is gonna get us through.
Man. So with
Faith.
that being said,
Why
why
be
be negative
negative?
and fall off my frames?